Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. It's the time of the month when I talk about my favourites for the last 4 weeks or so. This month, May, the favourites have all been makeup rather than skincare or fragrance. So let's get stuck in. The first of them I don't think will take any of you by surprise if you've seen any of my recent videos, because I've raved every time. It's my favourite blush of the moment from the Tom Ford summer collection. I keep forgetting what it's actually called. It's Pink Sand, but it's the cream blush. I've shown it a few times. I've used it pretty consistently ever since I got it, and you can see barely looking touched, so that's just as well because it's so expensive. Just the most beautiful cream blush, pretty pink with a golden sheen that just glows on the cheeks, and it's easily my favourite product of this month, and I suspect it's going to be one of my favourite products of the whole year. I'm using it all the time and really enjoying it. If you are in the market for a cream blush and you can still get your hands on one of these, I couldn't recommend it more highly. Of other Tom Ford products, I have an old favourite here that I've pulled out again this month, and it's the Tom Ford Nude Dip palette that was a limited edition last autumn, fall. Caused a bit of a buying frenzy, I think, in the United States, slightly less so over here, but the stocks did eventually run out. But it's kind of appropriate that I mention it again this month. I have been using it, but it's become part of the Tom Ford permanent eyeshadow range at the moment. So if you missed out, you can definitely get your hands on it now. And you'll recall it's just this beautiful, neutral, creamy champagne, rose gold, taupe and brown that can be used wet or dry. They're all slightly shimmery, but not in a bad shiny way, just in a beautiful, flattering, multi-dimensional way. I did a video, well, I did more than one video back in the autumn, certainly one comparing this with other Tom Ford palettes. My all-time favourite Tom Ford eye palette was another limited edition called Enchanted, which is very similar to this but slightly cooler. It's very difficult to get hold of now, but this is very similar. It's a huge favourite. I just think it's such a wearable palette. I know some particularly professional makeup artists say they don't quite get the fuss over it, particularly because it hasn't got a matte shade in it. But honestly, I think these shades are just so easy to work with, so universally flattering that really doesn't matter. So I know I rave about Tom Ford all the time, and I do appreciate that they're very expensive products and not for everyone. But even if you're not someone who feels they can take advantage of much of the range and just wanted one product, you know, perhaps to put on a birthday list as a present or, you know, to try out, I think this would be the one I would most recommend, because I can't believe most people wouldn't get a huge amount of use out of it. It's just a fantastic palette, and I've been pulling it out again this month and using it and always getting compliments when I do. I purchased a new palette maybe 10 days ago, maybe less actually, from the Suku range, which is quite hard to get hold of here in the UK and I think Europe generally. It's a Japanese range, a premium range. I have bought before and quite liked their shadows. They're very subtle and they layer. But this one, I have to say, is my favourite ever. Mainly because of this beautiful peach in the centre, which is, again, a very flattering colour. It's looking quite strong and pigmented there, but when you actually work them onto the lids, they're both, I think, unusual, but quite understated and sophisticated. And as I say, they layer very, very well. So these two colours that I wouldn't initially, think of putting together, certainly not from in the palette. And even when you swatch, that purple looks quite strong there. But when blended together on the eye, they blend out just beautifully to give this whisper of a colour. And for me particularly with my hooded eyes, I find this peach on my lid, and then I have to shade really above the natural crease of my eye because of the hood to give the illusion of a bit of depth. I find this purple brown very, very easy to work with, and the two together just give a really pretty eye, which lasts really well on me. I haven't used the white quite as much, but it's a bit grittier, the formula, but I mean they can be used to soften each other or as a kind of highlight in a corner. Very pretty, but if you like the Suku range, I think you would definitely like this one. I think it's quite exceptional within the range, and I've been using that a lot this month since I got it. Another two from the summer ranges, from the Chanel. I liked all of my purchases, but particularly this eye pencil, the waterproof Stilo in Orchidee, which is quite a vibrant purple. I've been using with brown shadow. You can see there, very pigmented, very soft. These stilos I like. I have a lot of them. They are truly waterproof. Once you lay them down, they don't move until you remove them with waterproof or an oil-based eyeshadow remover. But some of them are harder to work with than others. They feel as if they're dragging the eye a little bit. This is one of the softer ones, which is very easy to work with, and so I've really been liking that. I've had a lot of nail polishes on this month. I'm wearing, in fact, the Tirana from Chanel. This is one of the others from the summer range. It's just a beautiful orange red coquelicot, and it's an excellent formula. I found myself getting a clear week from this with my manicure without shipping, which is an unusually long time for me. So it's a really, really good formula. If you're in the market for a Chanel red, an orange red, this is a good one. It's very similar to Phoenix, so if you had that last year, then you might not want this one, although I'd say this was a marginally better formula. Another old favourite that's been pulled out a lot this month is the Guerlain Illuminating Powder Silk Shimmer. I don't like to tease you with it because, of course, it's not available easily here in the UK, but I have put previously a link to an American website where it is being sold again. And you can see I still haven't made much impact on it, but I've been using it very regularly as a finishing powder. It just gives a beautiful glow, and I've really been enjoying it. I've been experimenting with this new concealer palette from the French firm MAC Pro. That's M-A-K, not M-A-C, as in the American MAC. These are kind of professional quality cream makeups. They do foundations, but I got the concealer palette, and I've been finding they work really, really well on the under eye dark circles and blemishes. And this colour here is a very pretty cheek colour if I'm not using my Tom Ford. I may talk a little bit more about this palette along with some other under eye products that I've been trying recently to get rid of and or disguise my very dark circles caused by lack of sleep at the moment. So that's been a new favourite. And then 3 lipsticks, all of which are fairly conservative, not bright lipsticks. First of all, the Rose Soleil from the Tom Ford Summer. You can see I've made quite a lot of headway with this. Really, really pretty, much prettier on the lips than it's looking there. It gives a really, really nice sheen and is very moisturising as well. I've been very impressed with my first Dior Addict, which is this one. I can't read. I'm afraid I haven't got my glass. Oh, yes, I have. They're on top of my head. Got my glasses. This is Cosmic Pink of the tie-dye range. That's the ones with the CD all the way through. Again, a very, very moisturising formula, giving a bit more colour there, which I've been using a lot. Very convenient to have in the handbag. And I've also enjoyed the MAC Tumble Dry from the latest collection. This very pretty, creamy peach luster. Doesn't last brilliantly on the lips, so you do have to keep reapplying it, but it's a pretty one to have in your handbag, and those three really have been the kind of go-tos this month. So those have been my favourites for the month of May. Let me know if any of you have enjoyed any of these too, and I shall speak to you soon, probably with my empties. For the time being, bye for now.